Hello, bonjour tout le monde. Thank you for joining us today. We'll just give a few minutes to let people log in and we'll start at the top of the hour. Donc, merci beaucoup d'être là avec nous aujourd'hui. On donne 1 ou 2 minutes pour les gens qui vont se connecter au webinaire et on commencera à 14 heures. Merci. Okay, so we will get started. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Geneviève Vallerand. I'm the Vice President at Community Foundations of Canada. Today, I'm joining you from the traditional territory of the Kanien'kehá:ka Nation, just north of Montreal. We have organizations calling in from across Canada today, residing and working in so many different locations and Indigenous territories. So just taking a moment to honor that. I'll share this quick introduction in French before turning to a few housekeeping items before we begin the meeting. Thanks. Donc, bonjour à tout le monde. Merci d'être là avec nous. Je m'appelle Geneviève Vallerand. Je suis la vice-présidente.
I'm Geneviève. I'm Vice President of welcome to our first session on the Recovery Fund, and I'm talking from the territory, the traditional territory of the Kanien'kehá:ka at the north of Montreal. And we are really happy to be here with you. I believe we have almost 2,000 people on the line, and really happy to have organizations that are working from one side of the country to the other. Few little points before starting.
So this session today is available in English and French, as well as ASL and LSQ. So you should see our interpreters there up on screen with us. To access the French and English interpretation, all you need to do is scroll down to the bottom of your Zoom screen and select the language that you wish from the icons. If you click on that globe, you'll be able to switch between English and French. Donc, un petit mot sur l'interprétation en simultané aujourd'hui. La session
A little word on the simultaneous interpretation, available English and French and sign language, ASL, LSQ. You just have to navigate to the bottom of your screen, the little globe, click the little globe and select the language of your choice. A little recall.
You can hear and see us, but we can't hear or see you. We won't be having a Q&A as part of today's session, but absolutely invite you to join us on January 12th, where we'll be diving again into some more program details, and we'll hold a space for a Q&A at that time. So just noting that the session in English on January 12th will be from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the session in French will be from 3:30 to 4:30 Eastern Time. I'll now hand things over to my colleague, André Paulin, who's Director of the Community Services Recovery Fund at the Canadian Red Cross, to go over our agenda for the session.
Great, thank you, Geneviève. So in addition to the two of us, you'll also hear today from our colleague Betsy Challey, Director of Communications at United Way Centraide Canada. Today we will be going over the Community Services Recovery Fund. First, we will have a general program overview focused on what the fund is. Then we'll chat through the timelines of the program. This will include the application intake, when the application intake will begin, and when the project starts. Next, we'll go over which organizations are eligible to apply for the fund. We'll then walk you through the fund's website. From resources to upcoming webinar registration links, we will show you how to best navigate through the website. We will then go over some FAQs that we put together, followed by important next steps for you to know. Alors, je suis ravie de pouvoir explorer ce programme en plus de détails.
Happy to explore this program with you today. We will start with an overview. This fund is a unique investment of $400 million from the Government of Canada to support charities and nonprofit organizations as they focus on how to adapt, modernize, and build resilience. And more than ever, these organizations play an important plan to offer solutions to social programs that are complex that affect Canadians and Canadians. Financing for this community is not for activities or programs that are already in place, but for the needs that are internal of the adaptation and modernization of the organizations. The fund will accept the requests of different community programs that include organizations and registered ones and First Nations based in Canada that will give the different services in Canada. We will give a definition of these organizations in a few moments. This opportunity that is unique to help organizations to adapt, modernize, and to become more resilient, to be able to respond to their community. The fund will be deployed by three financial services: Red Cross, United Way, Centraide, and Community Foundations of Canada. The foundation will work in collaboration with the funds that are local funds to make funds go to the different services that are local. Centraide United Way Canada will collaborate with the Centraide United Way in the same optic. And the three national funders will continue to work together in this program to be able to serve and support these organizations together. The projects that will be financed will be registered within a certain time, and even though these projects will touch different situations, they must choose the one that is better served for the project. Investing in the personnel, these funds will be for projects that are punctual, for recruiting, maintaining of people in position, and mobilization and support of the organization, including staff, volunteers, and board of directors. Investing in the systems and processes, funds will be support one-time projects that invest in the systems and processes involved in creating the internal workings of an organization's overall structure. And investing in programs and service innovation and redesign. Funding will support one-time projects primarily focused on program and service innovations and redesigned using information gained during COVID-19. Now that you've had an overview of these programs, I will give the mic to Geneviève from Fondation Nationale du Canada, who will give you more information on the important dates and the organizations that are eligible.
I'll now cover some of the fund's timelines. We know that the coming weeks will be busy, and so we just want to be clear about what you can expect in the new year. So on the next slide, you'll see the upcoming timelines for the fund. The application portal will open and go live on January 6th. We encourage you to use the next few weeks using today's information, what's available on the website, to get started and thinking about your potential project ideas. There are resources available on the website, which we'll walk you through a little bit later today. So please take the time to familiarize yourself with that ahead of the portal opening on the 6th. January 6th will also be when the applicant guide will be available to organizations to complete your organization. January 12th, you've got the dates in the chat, are the two how to apply webinars that are taking place. So again, English from 2 to 3 Eastern, French from 3:30 to 4:30 Eastern. Both will focus on using that how to apply to the Community Service Recovery Fund. We'll go through the applicant guide, let you know of any updates on the website, ensure you have everything you need to complete your application. You'll have until the 21st of February 2023 to prepare and submit your application online. You can likely expect to hear back about your project results between March and April 2023. Successful applicants will have from May 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024 to complete the work. The timeline is available on our website and in our FAQs. So let's go over next who's eligible to apply for the Community Services Recovery Fund. Comme André l'a mentionné, les organismes admissibles sont les organismes de services communautaires.
These organizations are community organizations, including nonprofit organizations, First Nations, registered organizations, and certain donors based in Canada that offer services for Canadian communities. Organizations that are admissible have coordinate organizations, regional, provincially, territorially, and nationally. This means that the process of requests will be adapted to the zone, and that the process that is specific will be put in place for the requests that are local. When you will submit for financing, you will have the possibility to choose the local or national level. On this slide, you will find more information on these organizations. What do we mean by the definitions? An organization, unincorporated as well as incorporated association, clubs or societies that are not registered charities or individuals, but are organized and operated exclusively for social welfare, civic improvement, pleasure, recreation, and any other purpose except profit. Indigenous governing bodies, this includes Indigenous governing bodies that are not registered as charities or nonprofits, such as First Nation bands, Métis settlements, and Inuit government or associations. Registered charities, some qualified donees, charities and other qualified donees registered with the Canada Revenue Agency. The website will be updated and have more information on the expenses, the activities, and the organizations that are admissible on the 6th of January 2023. The mic now goes to Betsy, who will review the website with you. Thank you, Geneviève. We are now go through the website. You will find resources, links, and for the webinars and questions that will certainly be useful. And this will permit you also to have access to the portal of request for the 6th of January. You can see a capture of the screen on the website on this slide. And for now, it only has 3 pages. You can consult them by clicking on the top right. The page is a general site of the program. The page about includes more information about the interventions and the financings that are available. On the page of resources, you will find documentation that is useful, facts and questions and responses to the webinar of the 12th of January, and a questionnaire interaction questionnaire. The questionnaire has 3 questions that are simple that will permit you to determine if you must come back on the website after the 6th of January to know more. Right now, we will, on the 6th of January 2023, here is what will be added to this date. Preparation guide for the request, page of resources, including an overview of the program, description of the expenses, organizations, and activities that are admissible, and the steps to follow to submit a request. The question interaction will be understanding a section where to send my request will permit you to know by which way and which organizations to submit your request. I'll invite you to take a bit of time to find out about the funds before the launch of the official date on the 6th of January. Now we will go over the question and answers.
These FAQs can support you as you generate project ideas in advance of the January 6th launch. The FAQ is available in French and English and includes much of the information we went through today. Timelines, information about the fund, eligible organizations, how this fund is different in comparison to the Emergency Community Support Fund, and of course, when you will receive more information. And it will be updated with additional information once the fund launches on January 6th. We hope the information we shared with you today has been helpful to you as you think through the fund and potential projects. The key next step is to creatively think about your potential project ideas based on the program overview we shared with you today. Consider your project focus area and consider what type of project can support your organization. As a reminder, this fund is not intended to support external service delivery projects. The fund is meant to support you as community service organizations to adapt, modernize, and become more resilient. On January 6, 2023, the applicant guide and where to apply questionnaire will be your go-to resources. You'll find greater eligibility details in the applicant guide, and you can learn about whether your project idea is eligible. The where to apply questionnaire will also be a go-to resource to determine where to submit your application. This will depend on your organization type and project focus area. Finally, I'll re-mention that all resources are available in English and French. We encourage you all to register for our English or French webinar on January 12th, where we will walk you through more details about how to apply. A link to register has been added to the chat now, I believe. You can also find the registration page on the website. If you have any questions in the meantime, reach out to your local Canadian Red Cross, local community foundation, or United Way Centraide. A map has been added to the chat that can guide you to find your local community foundation or United Way Centraide. If you have any questions for the Canadian Red Cross, please contact them at the phone number here or the email address in the chat. We want to thank you all for joining us today and look forward to connecting with you again on January 12th, where we will hold an open Q&A session. Wishing you all a lovely winter season, and thank you for all that you do in community each and every day.